Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Today we are going to be making a hoop peacock tree with this bead set, and I already have them all done. I'm going to do one with you today, and I'm going to link Marianne's tutorial in the description. So if you want to go and watch her do it a few more times, that would probably be an excellent idea, especially if you're new to doing them. She calls these branches, I call them leaves, but it's the same thing. That it's just such a gorgeous idea, and she taught me how to do this, and it's my most favorite way to do the trees, just because they come out so full. So I will do 20 sets of 2, so 40 total. And this one has a lot less beads than my sunset does, and they go so much faster. So let's get started on that. Let me get this out of my way. So I'm using the black, it's a medium blue, a turquoise, and a light green. And if I could find that hole. For me, doing it this way with multiple color beads, it takes a little more time to put them together. But since there's less beads on this, it goes a lot quicker than when we were doing the sunset. But the bead combination is just so beautiful. So as you can tell, I'm putting one bead on each side of the wire that are matching and bringing it down. And then we're going to put in 3 twists. So when I say twist, I actually mean half twist. And let's see, there you go. That gets you an idea. So when you start on the sides after your 3 twists, you do it just the opposite. And I actually did work on these on and off all week. It was just such a crazy week. I don't know about you guys, but it seemed like everybody I talked to was just having a crazy week. So once you have them on like that, you push it up slightly with your thumb. Kind of hold it there so you have a little bit of a gap. And then you just twist it until it's tight. Usually it's 2 or 3 twists, but you can see that there's a good twist in there. Now you have a long wire and a short wire. This piece right here is your top, so you're gonna flip it. And then we'll work on the long wire. I got a new tripod, and I wish I had talked to Marianne before I bought this. It's a little bit difficult to kind of work around it. I wanted it, let's see. I wanted it so that I could get it close and actually show you what I was doing rather than so far away. My other tripod was meant more for photography, so it was not really beneficial. So again, do you see the small gap right there? And I just leave that for room to twist the wire. Now once we have those 2 on, bring these down, and I'm putting in 3 half twists again. So as you can see, these ones do go a lot faster. And I have actually made this particular tree, probably 5 times now. And it's just because there are so many people in my family that love peacocks and peacock feathers. So, I don't know if that's the bead or the way, yep, that was me. So push it up with your thumb just a little bit, and then we're going to twist. My goodness. Okay, let's pick another bead. There we go. And I do keep them in piles, and it helps me keep them in order. As usually when I'm doing this, I'm watching a YouTube video or listening to a podcast, and I'm easily distracted. Somebody says squirrel, and I'm done. So it makes it a lot easier. So anyways, that's how we're gonna make them. And so once all of those are done, we can pick up our beads. And actually, for these guys, I am just going to push them off. There's not that many, so I can separate them later. So we're going to use the 8-inch hoop, and once again, I put the wires on, and these wires, I cut them to 24 inches on an 8-inch hoop, and that gives you, this particular wire isn't. But just a slip knot is how I put mine on. And then once you get the slip knot on, I twist them out about 15 half twists. And I did 20 of these. So what you do once you get all 20 on your hoop and twist it out, you'll be like this. So I've always had problems with the roots, and the easiest way I have figured out to do them for me is to take 4 and you grab it like this, and then you'll twist them together so you get to the top of that original twist. And notice that my thumb and my index finger are holding the wire at the bottom, and that just helps with the integrity. And last 4. So from here, we're going to divide these in half. So this one is going to come over here, and this one is going to come over here. And it looks like this one we might need to twist a little bit just to get it even. Okay, I see that this one needs a couple more twists, and this one may just need one more twist. Okay, one more right there too. Just a little bit shy. Marianne always has the nicest looking roots. Okay, so you're holding down at the bottom. You're going to bring them all together. And I like to go about halfway up my hoop for my trunk. And I am using the aluminum wire. My hands really prefer that. And that is really great advice from the lady that started the channel. It's like, take care of your hands. Yes. Yes, yes. Because they do get tired. Okay, I think I'm going to go up just a little bit more. There we go. I think that will be good, because we'll put a bend in here and kind of bring it back down. I just want to always make sure that I have enough to bend the trunk. So now we're going to take 8 wires, and what I do is I try to pull closer to the bottom so that I can make sure I'm kind of pulling from the same bunch. Like, see, I'm going to pull that wire, but it's not from the same bunch, so I'm going to take it back. So it's coming from the same direction, basically. All right, that's 8. And that wire. And I don't mess with them too much at this point because sometimes I miscount. So obviously the center can't come from the same bunch, so it's going to be from the front and from the back. And then we'll just divide this guy up. Get them untangled. Okay, that one has 8. And that one has 7. So someplace I miscounted. Did right here. So that will go up there. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, that's 5, 7, great. So put that over there. And then we'll grab, not that one, this one's right there. Okay. Four and four, 8. Sorry that took me so long. Okay. So then you divide your wires 4 and 4. On each side. You're holding the base and you start to twist that out. That should be good. I'll get the other side. Now see this wire. Let's see, I'm gonna bring him up here and then back around to get him to kind of fit in there and match a little better. Let's see, 2, 4. Now we'll separate these guys out like this. Try to keep the same direction wires. 4 and 4. And when you're working with the aluminum, it's pretty neat the way your hands can warm it and then, you know, kind of help shape it as you're going through this. There we go. And it doesn't matter at this point where you stop because you're going to adjust this anyways to put in your leaves. So let's see. Separate this out. Maybe I do want that one over there. Double check 4 and 4. Make sure I didn't mess up someplace. But even if you do mess up, it's not that big of a deal. Marianne also has tutorials about how to add in wire. She's got some really great ones out there. So, okay, so this one will be your center. Okay, so from this point, we are going to start adding in our leaves. And this is one leaf twisted into another, and I put 3 half twists in there. So for the bottom branches, I like to start pretty close. So I'm not going to twist these 2 out too far. Let's try to make these match up here. that was about 7 half twists. You just lay it in, kind of put them up together there. Lots of hand lotion on, guys. So after about 5 twists, what I like to do is just cut off the tails of the shorter one. And if they're long wires, I keep them for flowers. And Marianne's got some really great videos in our playlist about how to make flowers too. Yeah, they're just awesome. Let's see here. We'll put the next one in right there. So altogether I did 40 leaf branches, and then I paired them up and twisted them together, and then you just twist till you about to the outside ring, but I want to make sure that that is good. Yeah. And then once again I go through and I cut off these tails. And this wire is so soft, you can just squish it right down in there. So nice. And then what I do is I wrap once, and then I come back over. And then here in the back, this is where I trim it off and kind of squish it down. So it's pretty nice and neat. And I can keep those wires. And then I can fiddle with these leaves a little bit and kind of get it to come back over and cover where I tied it on. And I will do this next branch right here. I'm just supporting my work here, and I can see right away that I will have a blank spot right there. So that will be where my next leaf goes. And all of this is eyeball. And, you know, this 22 gauge wire is pretty forgiving. So you can twist it and play with it. Kind of get things where you're going to want it. I don't know, maybe this new tripod will work out for me. It's just getting used to doing videos to begin with, because this is my second time doing a video, maybe my third, but I'm very new to all of this. And I'm old enough to be just kind of resistant to change. I like everything the same all the time. If it works, don't fix it. Oh, what's that saying? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay, so I brought this one out a little too far. So what I'm going to do is unwind. just a little bit. Yep. And then I'm going to trim this guy off. Sometimes you realize you've done that and it's like, oops. So, easy fix though. Definitely an easy fix. And see how the wire just straightens out from the heat from my hands. And then this piece right here that's sticking out, we'll get that with some pliers. So putting these together, that's the most time consuming of all of the work that you're gonna do. And I like to just work on them a few at a time. Until my hands get tired, and then I'll come back to it, and then I'll come back to it, and pretty soon I'll have it all squared away. Yeah, and I'll definitely be putting the beads that I use in the playlist. So if you like that color, let's bring this out just a hair more. And when you use them, you'll be able just to hop on Amazon and get them. That'll be good, because then we can tighten that up with this side. So once I do side to side branches, and that way I can really help with the tightness of the tree. Most of the time it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And I know also Marianne has some tutorials about how to wrap your tree that she does. And that's the way I started, and I really liked it. But I also like the glue method. So that's how I do my trees now. I just end up gluing these on. And you can hear how scratchy they can be. You can push most of that out, but just sometimes it doesn't work out. There we go. match those up. Put your finger in. So I hope everybody's getting to do something that they enjoy this weekend. My husband hurt his back, and so he is having a hard time sitting because it's sciatic nerve stuff. And we are stuck at home. But I have you guys, and let's see, getting to make beautiful trees for people. So I am not without entertainment. There's a spot we'll end up having to go back and fix with the pliers. You know what, I'm gonna go to this side and cheat a little bit. I have been wanting to get up to Arkansas and go to some of their, the quartz mines up there and go to some of those digs. I don't know if you guys follow those on YouTube or not. But since we've moved down here, it's been just one thing or another that has kept us from going. I have really been wanting to get up there and do it. So if I can get hubby healed up, I think that maybe in June we'll be able to go up and do some rock hounding and kind of get out of here for a few days. Is there any other rock hounds in the group? We have done that for the past 17 years, up until we moved to Mississippi. Just get out, get into nature, go find cool stuff. A lot of beach walks and maybe a little bit further back. Look at those wires. Most of the time you can push them down with your fingers. Sometimes you can't. Let's do a couple more twists. I think. A couple more twists. Yeah, that's good. Too far. But you can see how forgiving the wire is. You make a mistake and it's really not that big of a deal. Untwist. Okay. And it'll take it at least once before it really starts getting kind of losing the integrity of the wire and getting brittle. Look at that, it's coming together so pretty. Some pretty cool editing tools, so right now as I'm doing it, I notice I'm kind of all over the place, just kind of moving this, and that's driving me nuts. If I had to watch this video, maybe I wouldn't be watching it. So I'm gonna try to fix that. That should be fine right there. We're supposed to be getting some thunderstorms later today. I just love them. Just never seen anything like what we see down here in the south. It is pretty impressive. Let's see if I can get those unwound. There we go. Yeah, this part of the tree goes awfully fast, you guys. It's really nice because you get to see the satisfaction of all the work that you put into the leaves. It's like, oh shoot, look what I went and did. A bit too far. But like I said, see how forgiving? Oh my gosh. Good. Good, good. Go ahead and bring it in here. And around. rid of these guys. Oh, I can hear the thunder. Hopefully it's a good storm. That'll work right there. Yeah, these peacock trees seem to be a favorite of the people who are receiving them as gifts. But my favorite was the sunset tree. Okay, somewhere we lost that. There we go. Let's make sure it's nice and neat. Looks good on the front, so if a branch gets moved, it doesn't look too shabby. Alright, now, here we are. So close to being done. Let's see, I'm gonna take those wires and untwist them. Here we go. That matches up really well. Now it's going back to the 2 and 2. When I first started watching Marianne do this stuff, I was in awe. I was like, I never imagined that I could make something so pretty. And she is just such an excellent teacher. And I was just, wow. I have to do this. So I would go back to her videos and I would just study. Watch her hands, re-listen to what she was talking about. And yeah, pretty darn impressive there. Twisted that one up too much, huh? But once again, so nice and forgiving. This one is just not going to be tied in enough. Look at those wires. So I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah. Just for a minute. do the Marianne trick on this. Just this one, because I brought it out too far. You know what? That way isn't going to work out at all. Let's bring it out this way. And then we'll wrap it around this way. And this is the way that Marianne wraps her branches. So where there's a will, there's a way. And we're gonna do it her way. And the great thing is once we get the glue on there, it will not even be noticeable. So I was talking to her the other day, and she was telling me that she has over 900 videos on her YouTube channel. And I was like, my goodness, I need to get busy and start watching some more of those. So I have this week when I could sneak away and spend some time with YouTube. I learned so much. I had no idea. I guess I'd never stop to count either, but it makes sense. You know, she does all of this so gracefully, and yeah. Right. So, like I said, I like my trees to be full. I'm going to go to the back and start bending some of these wires. And the good news is when we're back here, any wires that are sticking up, we can kind of help them lay down a little bit. We notice any pokies. But when you're doing this, it actually helps to tighten up your tree. Sorry guys, trying to hold my hand so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And let's see, that one going that way. Well, I'm back. We had quite the evening last night, and we had just lost power so many times. I decided it was just time to give it up. But I did want you to know that I use this super glue from Loctite. It's an ultra gel control. So when you put it on, it stays where you put it. It doesn't drip. And I did not notice what brand Marianne was using. She says that hers does the exact same thing and doesn't frost your beads. So either the one that Marianne's using or this one will work great, but definitely preferable. So since I already did that last night and these are completely dry, what I wanted to show you was how I go in and hot glue these guys. And my hot glue and my hot glue guns, I believe that I got those from Walmart. And what I am doing is just covering the wires on the back. I do have a friend, he owns a window business, and one of the things that he told me was that the glass scratches super easy with the metal. And so that's why I decided to start doing this, because the last thing I want to do is start a trend where I'm giving these gifts that are scratching up people's windows when they take them down to clean them, or they have it open and there's a little bit of a breeze. So that's why I do this. It works well. Anyways, so I'm gonna let that dry for a little bit, and then I'm going to get started on my next project, which is with gradient pinks. And I did this one just the opposite. So I'm gonna get started on this, and then I'm going to hopefully make you a much better video today. And I will be talking to you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.